Good evening and welcome. Welcome to my live stream. This is Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and it's a warm welcome. This is clearly about talking about the child protection system. It's found in every county and every state. And it's a warm welcome. I want to welcome you. Um, Shoot, I adjust my color and everything, and now it looks like I got shadow on my face. Maybe it's okay. Okay, hopefully, there we go. I guess you don't have the power supply, it goes to a different setting. Now, this live stream is on. Thank you, Mrs. Anita Carter. I really enjoyed that. Thank you. Mrs. Anita Carter, what part of the world are you from? I mean, when you text messages, there's a format we use. And I think you're kind of new. I don't think I've met Mrs. Carter before, but warm welcome, a warm welcome. And now I'm on every night of the week at 7 p.m. And on this show here, this live stream, Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I have another show at 10 o'clock Monday through Friday and Saturday, 8 a.m. That show is Fight CPS with your host, Bob Pace. And there we go. I guess I have to sit kind of close. I got to be careful to the lamp too bright because our light in the background will be too bright. Anyway, we had Mrs. Anita Carter here. I don't know if she's still here or not, but we'll see when other people come running in. Now, I've been doing this now for 22 months. That's a lot of shows, over 2,000 shows. And I've talked to over 2,500 people. And it's from around the world. It's not only from here in the United States, but it's 22 other countries. I've had Indonesia and Bangladesh and India. Then up to Saudi Arabia, I've had Libya and Saudi Arabia up the Middle East, yeah. Then over the continent of Africa, I've had Liberia, Sudan, Republic of Congo, then Rwanda, then Mozambique, and then the provinces of South Africa. So I'm here to help you understand and work with this horrible agency. This agency is the same agency that I was involved with. I am too a CPS victim. Okay. Hello, Cruella. I missed you earlier today. How's Felicia doing? And how are you doing right now? Are you able to stay warm at night? I know you're living in your car, and that's a horrible thing to do. Cruella is from Oxnard, California. She has two cases, one in Oxnard, a criminal case. She had her stepbrother force eviction on her. Now, that's a horrible thing for anybody to do to anybody, the home that she was living in. She has no other place to go. And earlier, her two babies were taken away from her, and they're with her stepdad and won't give them back. And that's a horrible, horrible feeling to have your children gone. And this morning I had Leica from South Africa talk about her disappointment. She was in bad shape this morning, Leica was. Of course, this morning at 10 o'clock, it was evening for her. Oh, dear. So, what's new, Krilla? What's the latest on your eviction and your two babies that your stepdad has? What's the latest and how can I help you? Now, when it says country, don't worry about putting the USA if you're in the United States because I know all the states. This helps me if you're from another country to put your country in there. And so try to follow it. Hello, Dorothy Cook. Oh, it's so good to hear from you. Oh, Dorothy, it was really hard. I mean, she was my first caller. She came in. As soon as I got on, she was in tears. What's happening to Leica, who she's 40 years old, she has no family support. And it's very traumatic when she lost her child was taken from her, and it was not her fault. Her boyfriend was a pedophile, and she can't live with a pedophile. And she contacted CPS, and police, they're very corrupt where she's living. And so she is really the only support she has is to see her Uncle Bob, which is me. Leica has no family. It's you, Dorothy. She comes to be here with you, just like Cruella does. Cruella's here because we're all a family here. I know you are, Cruella, and I'm proud of you. A warm hug goes out to you. I know you're here because you need support, and I'm glad I'm still able to talk to you. Dorothy and Cruella and Leica and Christina and Carrie, the list goes on, are very special people that come here all the time, sometimes twice a day, and hopes that I'll come with something that would help them. That's good. It's still summertime, so you're not too cold, but Ventura does get cold up there. Ventura does get cold. I'm hungry too. Wow. I have a new change as both my boys are finally moving out of the apartment. They were taken from me when they were in their home, and we lost the home because we had to get an attorney. So I've had a lot of sadness in my life, but it's really hard to see my two boys. They're not far from me, but seeing them come home and tell them I love you and getting hugs and how was your day and what's new is a part of my life that's going to be missing. Um, my wife and I are great ends because we've been so hurt by CPS. Christina wrote me a good legal document to go after them for denying my rights to my daughter. You see, I've not seen my daughter since she was 12 years old, since they took her from me. I never once had a visitation with her. My wife started out with visitation from her, but they cut the visitations from my wife. So my wife has really taken it hard. In fact, we went to court and found out that they were taking her children and that we had to go through this accusation that wasn't true. She couldn't take anymore, and she left the home and went to go live with one of those battered women places. But she wasn't a battered woman, but that's the only place she could find. She just didn't want to hang out at her home with all the sadness. Anyway, I held into the home until eventually, it was August 2015, and I lost the home in April of 2017. Man, that was tough. That was really, 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 really tough. As I look back, it's not very. Yeah, that's like in Africa. She is Dutch. She has a Dutch background. The Dutch settled in South Africa. She's called African. She speaks an African language, a Dutch language. That's because I guess it's Dutch pidgin or something. Mm. Oh wow, a 2012 Chevy Malibu. I bet you love that car, Corella. That's sweet for you to share that with me. Corella, you need to have a home. Don't I've been there before. I've lived in a car and it is not fun. It's not fun living in a car. Being homeless is a horrible experience. And it's sad because California is way too expensive for anybody to live here, especially when they give so little a pay. Wow, there's David. Wow, I haven't talked to him in ages. David, how you doing?
I've been better, Bob. Hello to you and all your followers.
Well, it's been a while. For people that are listening tonight, we have David Hidalgo, and he's from Santa Maria, and he has a case in Santa Barbara County where his daughter is back and forth vacillating that David's done harm to his daughter. So, what's the latest, David?
Well, I was supposed to have a trial on Monday, and once again, my case has been postponed another month again. This is the third time it's been postponed since I'm scheduled for trial next month now.
And what did Vincent Davis say?
Well, he had presented a motion, because CPS, the attorney for CPS and CPS has been not very cooperative with presenting the forensic interviews, the videotapes, and the transcriptions of interviews that took place with my daughter and how they did them. And so, he's continued to ask for them, and they keep dragging their feet with them. And so he had a motion last Tuesday in front of the judge before we're going to go to trial, and he asked the judge, if he presented that motion to the judge that we should be able to view those videos and look into them in the transcriptions. And so the judge agreed. And why CPS and the attorney have not given them over, I don't know. They did
Well, so they can milk money from everything. I mean, it hurts you too because you're paying for Vincent Davis.
Well, it's I'm already in, I'm past the $50,000 mark, and having gone
Wow.
through subpoenas and everything. I mean, and a private investigator, and now I'm going to have to look for a psychologist. But what bothers me is the fact that if we ever do get the transcripts before we go to trial, if they wait till the last minute, I won't be able to have somebody who's a professional to review the transcripts and dispute how my daughter was interviewed. And there's such a thing as when they do these interviews, they ask leading questions. And so, without having a professional having ample time to review that and then debut that, I mean, it's going to be very difficult for me. And then I also learned that in the juvenile court, hearsay can be used against you by CPS, but you can't use that, And so I don't understand. There is no justice, no balance in the juvenile court system. And I don't know why nobody has done anything to overhaul, start in California, the juvenile system, because it is the modern day Gestapo. Whatever they say goes, and I'm between a rock and a hard place. I've not been able to have a visit. My daughter, I'm sure that my daughter has already been weaponized against me completely now. She may not want to come back with me, all the things that have been said about me around her by all these adults and all these, they don't realize the damage that they've done by teaching her to have all these forensic interviews and teaching her to this therapist and that therapist and asking her the same questions. You're a small child. They're programming you now. And unfortunately, I have no input. There is nobody to stick up for me on the other side. There's nobody telling my daughter, hey, you know what, your dad loves you, your dad misses you. There's nothing. And so I'm at a huge disadvantage. And, they just don't give a damn. And that's really bothers me, the injustice that I'm going through and being a victim of these false accusations that have just destroyed my life. Emotionally, I've got PTSD now. The damage that it's done to my daughter's relationship, her innocence is gone.
Yeah.
My financial, status. I mean, it's just, I have been destroyed here and nobody gives a damn about it.
Well, I do. And I think Vincent Davis does. And does he ever tell you any positive things to hang in there, or does he seem very supportive?
Well, I asked him, I go, can't you do anything for the visits? And he just suggests that it's not a good thing to do right now. He says, you know what, let's just keep going how we are. And he's like, you want a small win or do you want to win this case completely? So, I have faith in him. I have to have faith in him. What choice do I have now? I'm neck deep with him.
Okay. Let me turn the volume up. Apparently, Dorothy says she can't hear David. Here, let me turn it up. I thought you could, but I think what happens. Let me go to. It's full volume. Go ahead. Keep talking, David.
And so, I'm feeling very lost because there's very little support for somebody in my situation here. I'm glad that I have a core of people who know me and who are standing behind me and they're there for me. And I'm glad that I have a very good psychologist, that therapist that I can speak to about this. And I'm glad that I can afford it. But, these things are not cheap. And, the average person who would be able to have finances, I feel sorry for them because if you get a court-appointed, attorney, you're dead in the water. Because I remember the one that I was given, the first thing he told me was that this looks bad. You're probably going to be arrested. And if I were you, I would just sign your daughter away and just walk away from this.
Oh, God. What kind of attorney is that?
And I told him, what? And he's like, listen to me. He tells me, listen to me. I've got 40 years of experience. You're not going to be able to win this case.
That's why he's a court-appointed attorney. If he had 40 years experience, he'd be working for his own law firm. That's why he's a court-appointed attorney. No one hire him. He's a bad attorney.
Well, can you imagine hearing those words when you're looking for somebody for help? That somebody's supposed to be there to support you and help you. And that's the first thing that comes out of his mouth. And then the second thing he tells me, well, I don't know, what do you want me to do? And I said, well, you're the lawyer. I mean, what kind of a question is that?
Well, if you ask that question, I would tell him, you defend me, you get my daughter back, or I'll file a civil lawsuit for negligence against you and call the state bar in Sacramento and report so that you lose your bar license.
Well, I found something out. I found out that all these attorneys, they have $1 million insurance to protect them. And so there is such a thing as ineffective counsel. And when this is concluded, I am going to submit a report because, I just think that it was very unprofessional for him to
Yeah.
have that opinion right from the get-go, right from the gate. My first meeting with him, I was not impressed. And what happened? My second hearing, I got rid of him.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
And Bob, all I can do is try. I'm at the mercy of the court and of CPS because they hold all the cards here. My faith in God is what's keeping me together, but I have nights where I don't sleep. I'm not ashamed to tell you that there's times that I cry myself to sleep, that I cannot believe that I'm in this mess and that, there's a chance that I could lose when I didn't even do anything. And the fact that I'm completely innocent and they don't care really is very troubling. What does that speak to our justice system? And so, that being said right there, somebody somehow needs to really put a magnifying glass on what the juvenile system is here, and completely give some type of restructuring of CPS and the social workers and these people who are forensic investigators. I found out that the lady that did the forensic investigation is works for the district attorney's office. And so, what bothers me is she did the first forensic investigation where she exonerated me, and she's done the other two now where she says that I did do something. And what bothers me, she made no mention of the one where she exonerated me. So, which time did she do her job, or what is it? I think that's a huge contradiction right there as far as her professionalism.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Fighting CPS is like that damn war in Ukraine. I know that's a hard analogy there, but you see a country that's been around for a long time, and you see another country that wants to muscle their way to take something that's not theirs. And no one seems to be able to stop it.
Yeah, and that's exactly my case. And I think that another thing that's going on, Bob, is that I've upset them and staked up that I was going to lay down on this, that I wasn't going to.
Well, they hope you would. They hope you would. They would hope you would. They would hope you would.
I think that they thought I was just gonna give up, and just okay, But I'm innocent, so of course I'm gonna fight 100%, And that's my child, not their child. And what's problematic now is that she's with, the other side of the family, and who knows what they're telling her, and how do I rebound from that, And they're taking my daughter to different therapies. What are those therapists saying? They all believe that I'm guilty, so nobody is sticking up for me. It's not a neutral situation, and that's the problem here, because they're all in conjunction with each other, and they end up weaponizing the child against you. And so this child, the only communication she has is with everybody who believes that you're guilty, and so they're all feeding into this, so they're just making this even worse.
I agree. I thought
there's no neutral person here that's listening and weighing things out and just nothing. They've all condemned me. I'm already condemned, and they've got blinders, and that's just it. I don't know if they don't know. Some of them don't know that I passed the lie detector test or whatnot, but it's incredulous to me that they will allow hearsay. That's nothing. There's no evidence to it, but something that I have that's concrete. A lie detector test by the best person that does it in the United States, a special agent for the FBI, but they won't even look at that, but they will take in, lies.
Now, question. Has CPS provided you written documentation outlining the reasons for their intervention?
Yes, it's because my sister made these allegations against me, and then when they took my daughter said exactly what my sister had told her to say.
Okay.
I'm not going to go into details.
No. I'm not asking you to go into details. I'm not
Right.
asking you to go in
But my
details.
daughter was
I just want to
no,
make
my daughter
sure.
was even
I'm
taken.
trying to find out what they didn't do, something you could fall back on with Mr. Davis. Now,
And
um, go
and
ahead.
then they took my daughter to the hospital, and even she was examined 3 times by 3 different doctors, and they all said there was nothing.
Okay, that's the documentation that you have to have for Mr. Davis. Do you
Right.
have?
The hospital's been subpoenaed, and they've been uncooperative too. We're waiting to get that information too. That's another thing.
Why has the hospital been uncooperative?
I don't know. It just seems like everybody is dragging their feet when it comes to clearing my name. Any kind of evidence that can completely exonerate me, everybody is dragging themselves.
Well, did you at the beginning of the case ever speak to CPS, or do you remain silent?
Yeah, I spoke to them.
Okay, do you remember what you said? Because that may be used against you. That's why I know you probably didn't know. Okay.
I told them that I was honest with them. I told them that I had not that nothing had been, that I had never done anything remotely that could be misconstrued as inappropriate. There was not a whole lot to deny because I never did anything. So I just told them that they were completely wrong.
Did they, in their questions, did they bring up anything that they said your daughter said, or that they have heard from your wife's sister? Is your sister the one causing all this? Your wife's sister?
Yes.
Okay.
No, my sister.
Okay, your sister. Now, why is your sister turned against you? Aren't you brothers and sisters?
Well, we are, but
why did she decide to turn against you? Why? You must have done something to rub your sister the wrong way.
I never have. I was completely blindsided by this. This all started in August of last year. She was helping me. When I needed a babysitter, she would help me. I had a very good relationship with her. I was completely blindsided when she went behind my back and made all these allegations. And then CPS and the police department investigated this behind my back without even.
Do you have any documentation that tells them that how your sister and you were once close? Do you have that documentation?
That what?
That you and your sister were once close. That you had a good relationship. Do you have anything like an old card that she gave you? I love you, brother, or thank you so much for your help. Do you have anything in the past that support the claim that you and your sister had a good relationship?
No, I don't think so. But the thing is, I would go and see her all the time because she took over my mother's house.
I understand. I'm trying to help you, David. I'm not questioning. I'm trying to dig into your past. And I'm trying to say, if you have the documentation of something that you and your sister had a good relationship, and that could be a greeting card. She was 7 years old and gave you a card for your birthday or something. I'm just trying to think of anything that could help you.
I don't think so, but you know what I am going to do is I'm going to try. You gave me an idea. I'm going to try to go back in my messages where I would send her pictures of me and my kids in outings and how she would tell me, "Oh, you're a good father," and she would.
There you go. There's the documentation. I know you're probably not happy with me trying to dig into you because you think you've done everything, but
No, I appreciate. No, Bob. Yeah. I appreciate this. This is good because you're giving me a different perspective.
Yeah. Well, I'm going off the fact is that they have to work on evidence. They just can't work on hearsay. You think they can, but they can't. At first they are, but you have exhibit A, B, C, D, whatever, and you present it to the judge. You see, you're stuck because you don't have a jury trial. Without a jury trial, you're screwed because you have one man, the referee, the judge, is going to make all the decisions. And if you rub him the wrong way, or he's a crooked judge, or he's a bad judge. Have you done any study about this judge? Did Vincent Davis ever fight this judge before?
No, Mr. Davis is very new. I don't think he's ever been to Santa Maria, period.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, have you guys researched this judge? Do you know his background? Do you know when he got his law degree? Does he have a law degree? Does he have experience as a lawyer? I mean, do you know any? You need to find out his background.
No, I do not.
Yeah, well, you need to.
I hope that Mr. Davis would be doing this, if considering I
Well, I don't know. Sometimes people forget. I'm very analytical. So I think a lot analytically. I have an engineer mind. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put the, your shoes on my feet and try to walk in your shoes.
Okay.
And I'm trying to sit there and say how I would handle it if I had your case. Because my daughter didn't say that I did anything wrong to her. I don't know. That was never brought up. But something really disturbed her enough not wanting to see her father. Because before she was taken from me, she and we had a disagreement about going to school. But we held each other and said, I'm sorry. And we had an outing on May 2nd of 2015 in a park. And I thought things were good, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. Bob, I'm starting to get overwhelmed with this because it just seems that they're held bound. They're just intent to see me lose my daughter.
Well, they're hell bent to get more money. You see, the longer your daughter's in their care, the more money they get. Also, who's taking care of your daughter at the moment?
The maternal grandparents.
And you know, the maternal grandparents are probably given $1,000 a month by CPS.
I would doubt it.
No, they give support to people taking care of children.
Oh boy.
These
Yeah,
are things I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you there. So you have to collect this evidence. Are you keeping track of all the? Are you doing your safety plan, taking all the classes they ask you to?
They didn't ask me to take anything.
They've not asked you. Do you have a safety plan?
I took the dedicated dad's parenting program. I did it already and I passed it.
No, I'm talking about. Do you have a safety plan outlined what you need to do for family reunification, or is there family reunification off the board? What is it they want you to do?
It's off the board. It's off the board. No, that's gone.
So how's that gone? Did you ever appeal it?
No, they bypassed all that. They're hell bent on because of the situation that
Did Vincent Davis know that? Does Vincent Davis know that they never gave you a safety plan? They never set up a visitation or anything with your daughter. I don't understand it. So have they gotten rid of your termination of your rights with your daughter? Are your rights terminated?
No.
Okay. Well, if your rights are not terminated, yeah. Well, okay. I'm just, boy.
They didn't offer me anything because of the circumstances, according to them.
Well, maybe it's better terminology to use the word service plan, the safety plan, but it's the same. It's a legal contract between you and the agency.
Nope.
So what have they asked you to do to get your daughter back?
Nothing. They didn't. They don't want to.
Have you had the first hearing? I mean, what have you had legal wise?
I'm already going to trial.
Your deposition? I'm confused.
I'm going to trial. That's it. There's no other thing.
Is this the criminal? Are you doing criminal? Are you doing criminal trial or CPS trial?
CPS, I don't have any criminal charges.
Okay, I didn't know because there's a district attorney that can do it very well.
Yeah, I have no criminal charges.
Okay.
There is no evidence. There's nothing except the fact that my dad has been going back and forth.
Well, what court hearing have you had? Any court hearing?
Well, I've had all the hearings up to the point where I'm going to trial now.
Oh, okay. So you've already had a jurisdiction and disposition hearing, right?
Yes, right.
Was Vincent with you then?
Yes.
Oh boy, I don't understand this.
Yeah.
And they're not to determine any kind of case plan.
Nope.
The case plan would include reunification services, foster
Nothing.
care placement, or court or other court orders.
Nope. They didn't offer any nothing.
So they had the detention hearing, and it was determined to remove the child was justified.
Yes.
Then they had what's called a jurisdiction hearing, where the examines the evidence, determine if the allegations of abuse or neglect are true.
Yes.
They've had that. What evidence did they submit? Yes. What evidence did they submit?
What my daughter said.
Go on, I'm listening.
That's it. Just what my daughter said. What my daughter had said, that I had touched her inappropriately.
All right. Then what about the documentation at your deposition hearing of your statement and your lie detector and all that? That was not heard then?
They didn't say anything about that. Nope.
How many reviewing hearings have you had since the deposition?
I think one or two. I'm at the point now where all that's gone now. I'm at the trial now. You know, whatever I tried to give to them, they threw that back in my face and said, that's for you to use in trial. They're not interested in anything that I had to say. Any of the evidence that I gave them, they were not interested. They didn't want to look at it. They said, no, you can try to use that at trial. I submitted the lie detector results. I submitted text messages where my daughter said she loved me and everything up until that time. I submitted the things where I've been doing alcohol and drug testing. I submitted the certificate that I completed of the dedicated dance, which is a 6-week parenting program where you have access to counselor. I gave them information that I've been seeing a psychologist. I gave them all that. They have no interest in it. They got blinders on. They didn't want to hear none of that. Yeah, I'm behind the 8 ball 100%.
I can't believe they never made a case plan. I just don't understand that. I've never heard of it in all the cases here.
No, there's no case plan. Not including me.
Have you asked Vincent about the case plan?
No, I have not.
Well, you need to ask him. You need to ask him, what about my case plan?
All right, I think he's going to tell me we're way beyond that.
Okay, but how did we get?
They didn't offer me anything.
Well, of course, it's not going to offer it. It's up to the person helping out with your case to offer it. See, I don't know when Vincent Davis took over in your steps or when you last had a court-appointed attorney. So, how long has Mr. Davis been with you now?
Since I think the end of June.
Oh boy! So, what's happened? Your case started when?
Beginning of March.
So March, April, May. You had 3 months of no Vincent. Oh boy.
Well, they've kept me out of the court. I didn't have any court hearings, you know, and what I did is, I looked around. I had to save up money, and I finally was able to find Mr. Vincent.
Yeah, I know. I'm just.
There's a lot of irregularities in this thing, and I'm thinking if I should lose, damned if I don't have a reason to appeal this and go take it to Ventura is where I think they have the hearings for that. But I mean, I think that especially the way that, I think that the CPS and the attorneys for them have been very bad actors. I think I have enough proof of how they've acted and stuff that would, shed some interesting light on this. The lack of ethics and professionalism. I told you that CPS worker, she tried to call my psychologist and tried to, get information out of her, and she lied. Told her that I had given her an ROI, or we just signed a waiver for her to have correct information, release of information, which was not true. There's been a lot of very unethical things throughout this whole debacle. You there, Bob?
Yeah, I am. I'm reading some information. I'm trying to pull from a database. I'm trying to find a loophole or something because this doesn't sound right.
Hey, Bob. Now that I'm speaking with you, Bob, do you have any information? I've not asked. I did ask Mr. Davis this question, but he said he might have something. But I wanted to ask you: do you have any recommendations in any good psychologist that if I do get the videotapes and the transcripts of the forensic interviews, that I could have somebody to go over it to dispute, how things might have been conducted or whatnot? Any good psychologists that that are very good at challenging these forensic interviews?
Vince Davis has a couple people like that. Have you asked him?
I did ask him. He just said that he might have somebody.
Well, what does your medical plan cover? Can you get a psychologist through your medical plan?
No, but I have the resources to get one.
Oh, I understand that, but your medical plan doesn't cover you having a psychologist evaluate you or evaluate what's been written about you.
No, because I'm kind of in between jobs right now.
Oh boy.
I had to cash in my 401k.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I'm hemorrhaging money from left to right, but I don't care. I can always make it back up.
Well, yeah, to get to become a dinosaur, yeah, I agree. When you get old, it gets harder.
Well, I'm sure it's not going to get easier.
No. What has Mr. Davis said about when you expressed how this is wrongly being accused and how there's a reason why the family members are doing what they're doing?
He just says he's very confident that we're going to win this. When he went in front of when he did this motion last week, the judge agreed to compel the CPS to provide us with the transcripts and the forensic videos, and the judge said that he wanted to see them as well. And then he told the judge, there's not just two, there's three. And the judge is like, what? He's like, yes, there's another one. That's the one that exonerates David. And he's like, well, okay, well, I really want to see that. And so he compelled them to provide the videos and the forensic, the transcripts last Tuesday.
Why
And
won't they?
yesterday,
Okay, why won't they
still did not-
release them? Why won't they release them to you?
I don't know. They just told Mr. Davis that it's taking time. And we asked for these back in June.
Meanwhile, your daughter, every day that she's without you, gets more and more reinforced that you're a monster.
Yes, exactly.
Oh boy.
And the therapist that they take her, they're not going to say anything good about me. They're already weaponizing her.
That is terrible.
Yeah, those people have no interest in believing that I'm innocent. So what kind of therapy, what kind of sessions are they going to have? They're going to, compel my daughter to keep going down this road. And that's a thing that I struggle with greatly, because the longer it takes, the more distant that this relationship is going to become. It's going to be very awkward. And who knows what the grandmother is, doing on that side. Because even in one of the reports that I got from CPS, are they buying her a turtle now and this and that? And well, you're a small child. These things, these things influence you.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I have those decks stacked against me.
Is there anything I've told you tonight that will help you? I mean, I told you to go back and investigate your relationship with your sister. If you can find any recordings or cards or letters that she's written to you that compliment you.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for some messages that she.
How about this? Have you ever shot videos of family get-togethers with your sister and your daughter and you there? Do you have family videos?
I think I do.
We
Yes,
need
I do have some of those.
you need to show them that can show the court that you had a beautiful relationship. And because someone's got envious of something, somebody is envious of something. Somebody does not, I don't know if your sister or these older people, I don't know, someone's got convinced the wrong ideas in their head.
Right.
I just can't believe they've already executed and they already terminate your rights. I just wrong. I don't understand.
Well, they haven't completely terminated my rights. That's why we're going to trial.
But the trial is for what?
To clear my name, to prove my innocence, so I can get my daughter back.
Okay.
And and another thing that I did give CPS, I gave him a slew of text messages between me and my daughter up into the day, and like about 10 or 15 pages of just pictures of me and my daughter, of all the things that, different things that we did.
Who did you give that to?
To the social worker.
Why would you give anything to the social worker?
I did that at first.
You were trying to fight the case on your own, and that is where the mistake that's made. And I tell people, it's not only you, but anybody's listening. The minute you're involved with CPS, it's yes, no answers. And if it's a legal matter, you need to go through an attorney. Anything else, don't discuss or anything, because it'll come back to haunt you. It'll come back to haunt you because they're not fair. They're not fair.
Yes.
And what you've done is that whatever you said, they may have twisted and turned and done another way with it.
I don't think so, because in all the reports that they've provided, there hasn't been anything like that. It's just been mostly lies and hearsay that they've put. 99% of the reports are just I can shred them with a sword. It's just lies and hearsay, made up stuff, and they've made themselves look bad in a couple of things that are very inaccurate. That I'm not going to go into detail, but that I've got them over a barrel with when that's presented into court, because they've contradicted themselves, knowing that certain things were not true. They still put them in the report. And it's blatant lies. So I'm hoping that can help me quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
They really stepped on some things, some landmines that they knew were not true, and they knew without a shadow of a doubt that are not true, yet they still presented them in a
They don't. They don't. You don't know the structure of CPS. Since you're in the Santa Barbara County, I don't know them, but I know that in LA County and Orange County and Riverside and San Bernardino County, I know how they work, and they are corrupt. They are corrupt, and the director
Well, like
is very, very, very corrupt.
well, like I said, they've done some really big errors
Yeah.
that are really disturbing.
Mm.
And I'm very interested to see what the judge's opinion is of that. But at the same time, Bob, I'm very scared. I'm guarded because you know what? That's their home court. This is the judge that works day in and day out with these people. They're all buddies. So what justice do I have? What type of neutrality exists? What level playing field is there? There is none.
Yeah.
I've got my back up against the wall on this one, Bob. But I have faith in God. Most of all, I have faith in God, and Mr. Davis too. I've told him, I've got to believe that Mr. Davis has seen everything in the book. Would you agree, Bob?
Well, yeah, I would think that. I mean, Mr. Davis has been doing this for 39 years.
To be honest with you, Bob, just sometimes I feel like Mr. Davis is just too busy, that he's got too many cases. Like yesterday, he asked me what day the trial is going to be, and I'm just, holy moly, they just.
Well, you have to understand, Mr. Davis, that's a small matter. He has someone that probably keeps track of his appointments and things there. He'll know about the meat of the subject, but as far as the peripheral things about dates and time stuff, he relies on your help and the help of his people keeping track in his appointment book.
Does he have a big staff?
Yes.
So I've got to imagine that he has people researching and helping him.
Well, he does. He has a law firm and he has a bunch of attorneys that work not only in CPS matters, that work in divorce, in criminal, real estate, immigration, workman's place, traffic accidents. I mean, I can go on and on, but you have attorney for your needs. So that, and all of them have help there. And I've worked with some of the attorneys.
He specializes in this, right?
Yes, that's his specialty. He's been doing that for 39 years.
Well, there's nobody else I could have gotten with this kind of experience. Would you agree?
Well, he is the top one. There's probably two other people, but I got them for my wife, and they seem to work out okay. I just hate for you to go through all this.
Yeah, so do I.
That's okay.
I gotta have faith, Bob, that I'll be exonerated once again.
Yeah. I have my son that just came home. It's really hard.
Okay, Bob. Well,
No, I'm okay.
go, but Bob,
No, we got to wind this thing down because I just looked at the clock. Wow, we're already over 8 o'clock. So
okay.
that is okay.
I want to thank you, Bob.
Well, I'm here
Thank you,
because
Bob, okay.
since I first met you, I've always liked you and I always believe in you. And when you got Mr. Davis, I thought that was the smartest thing you did. But there's a lot of things you have to do to help out Mr. Davis. And that's how I was when he worked for me. I was all over the place. And I presented him with things I wasn't afraid to ask him. Because if I'm going to quick sell my home and lose all my assets to him, he better do the best job ever.
Exactly how I feel.
I mean, he did such a good job that he caught the social worker committing perjury, but she retaliated. We did not know that social worker would retaliate. And that social worker went to our daughter, and the social worker said to both of his parents, "You'll never see your daughter again." And she went and encouraged the daughter along with the CASA. See, people use these CASA people or the Guardians of Light, and where do you want to call them? They're supposed to be sport, but they're listening ears, and they also coach. They also think every child's the same and every case is the same. They lump it in just like CPS does. They think all parents are bad. I'm talking about the rogue CPSs out there, the ones that are bad. Right off the bat, you're at a disadvantage to them.
Well, God help me, Bob. So like
Yeah.
I say your prayers for me, Bob, and all your
I will, David. And
support.
I hope.
Bob, if you think of anything or you come across anything that could help me, you have my cell phone number too, Bob.
Yeah, I know, but I have two of my strongest people in here, Christina Reynosa from Las Vegas, Nevada, and Dorothy Cook from North Carolina, who've been so supportive of me in my room and so want to help one another. So want to help one another. And I know that you're in a situation where, you've been talking to me long enough. You haven't given up, but you're in good hands with Mr. Davis, and he will win your case. Your time will be coming. Your time will be coming. And if it is false allegations and all this the thing is, then you have a beautiful lawsuit set up for you.
Well, they are false allegations, and I've never done anything that can be misconstrued as bad. And like I said, before I hired Mr. Davis, the first thing I did is I got a private eye who put me in contact with a special agent from the FBI so that I could get that polygraph done, so that anybody who would be on my team would have no doubts about me whatsoever.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, David, I'm going to wind down my show because my time's up. I have Bartley in here. I have Bartley in here. Okay, for all you listeners, this was David. He is from Santa Maria. His case in Santa Barbara County with false allegations by his daughter, who's been brainwashed into thinking and encouraged by his sister and his grandmother. His family has not been supportive. He's a single dad. His wife is gone. He still has one other child, a boy that he takes care of. But they took his daughter away from him, and they've been definitely corrupt. But he's trying his best. He is using Mr. Davis. And Mr. Davis says the trial was postponed a third time. So anyway, we all got to pray for David. Now, Bartley, I'm glad you came in here tonight. Bartley is from Montana, and she has talked to me several times, and she's a wonderful person. I'm glad to see you, Bartley, and thank you for dropping in. Dorothy Cook from North Carolina, thank you so much tonight for summing up everything and doing what you're doing there. Also, Christina Reynosa, I know you've not said anything tonight, but you have sent me an emoji, so I know you've been listening. Christina Reynosa from Las Vegas, Nevada. Then there's my Cruella, who is Felicia from Ventura County, who lives in Oxnard, who had her home taken away from her, illegally evicted. And then on top of that, she lost her two kids. And so she's trying to get them back. And so thank you being in here, Felicia, or Cruella. She goes by her her YouTube name. That's hard sometimes when I have all these different names. But that's all tonight. And thank you for the emojis. Thank you for being here. Remember, do not stop fighting for your child. Come in here and listen. Ask me questions. I'll get you answers. I will help you. I will help you because I care. I care. Now, I've put on the screen the Doge. That is the latest thing that's been happening now. They're investigating social service and CPS. That is the website they have. There are two phone numbers you can call the White House, and then there is also the email you can write them. It is legit. Try to follow up with that. I'll leave it on there because what's going to happen is I'm going to run a video as soon as I sign off here. So this is Bob Pace. Sign off tonight. I'll be on tomorrow morning. That's Friday, the 15th of August at 10 a.m. That's Pacific Standard Time. For you people on the East Coast, you're 3 hours ahead of me. People in England, you're 8 hours ahead of me. People in Europe and Africa, you're 9 hours ahead of me. So I do want to hear from you again. Please tune in tomorrow. Sleep, and I pray for all of you that you get your children back. God bless you. And this is Bob and David signing off.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce him. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last ones left.